Good morning, and welcome back to the Brenda Perryman Show, right here on TV 33, WHVR, Comcast 90, and Comcast 91, and all over the world, courtesy of the World Wide Web. And I am so happy to be here with the second part of the Paul Reiser name, Paul Reiser Jr. Kind of make sure you speak
Okay.
up on the mic. Good
Good
morning,
morning. How are you? Thank you
Paul.
for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you because we have your dad. Did you realize coming up what you were really around when you were a little kid and stuff?
No, I have an older sister, so for me it was all surreal, I think. And I was young. So I was 8, 9, 10, and even younger. I remember falling asleep in concerts. I remember being in studios with Luther. I remember being at Aretha Franklin's house. I remember answering the phone with certain people calling Marvin Gaye and then even Stevie Wonder being over the house. And so as I got into my teens,
Uh-huh.
I grew a different level of appreciation because not only was the music more meaningful to me, but even my friends and my associates. We started then when R. Kelly, when he did the work with R.
No.
Kelly, that was mid '90s. That was the height or some of the height of R. Kelly's career. He's had a great career, but I remember my friend calling me in and saying, "Paul, your dad did some music for R. Kelly," and I said, "No, stop playing." I thought he was joking, and he showed me the credits. I called my dad and I said, "Dad, you work with R. Kelly?" He said, um, oh yeah. He said, "Robert Kelly, yeah. I work with Robert." I said, "Dad, oh man, come on. You don't know who I with
You're the
Robert."
coolest dad on the block.
Yeah, it was definitely some unique times coming
So,
up.
Paul, you grew up in Detroit and you went to
University
University
of
of
Detroit.
Detroit High School.
Yep, University of Detroit Jesuit High School, right on Seven
And
Mile.
then but you graduated from,
Cass Technical High School,
okay,
absolutely.
the
The
technicians.
Cass Tech High School.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. Don't try that Ohio State stuff on me.
That's Cass Tech is a
Yeah,
great school.
I know it's a
It
fabulous
is.
school. And the fact that it was divided, people could get into curriculums and
Yep.
stuff like that. What was yours?
Mine was business administration.
Oh, okay.
So I actually went from selecting business administration. I played a little basketball. So and I think it was a great balance for me
What
in
year did you come out?
'93.
Oh, okay. I think we spoke of that
Yep,
before.
1993. So being at UOD 2 years and being in a Jesuit environment, obviously that's all guys, but it was great brotherhood. Some of my greatest friends to date are the relationships that I established at UOD, whether it's
Yes.
business relationships, personal relationships, just great friends who I've had, the opportunity to build great relationships. And then Cass was a different, aspect of life. It was obviously 4,000 people instead of a few hundred people.
Yeah, well, I went to Catholic school, and my whole high school had 300 people in it,
Yep, yep.
and graduating class has 71. So you get into, and then I went to teach at Highland Park, which had this. It was over 2,000
Man.
kids and everything. So I know. Now the reason everybody that I have Paul on here is Paul is one of the directors at TechTown. How many of you know about TechTown? And where it's located and what it does. Can you give us a little, give me
Yeah.
your full title first?
I'm managing director of technology-based entrepreneur programs.
Wow.
So, in summation, TechTown Detroit has been around for over 15 years now. It was founded by Wayne State in partnership with General Motors and Henry Ford Health System. And it's really the business innovation hub of the city of Detroit. So we sit right in kind of the epicenter of New Center area, right in Midtown. And we deliver and try to catalyze basically our entrepreneurial ecosystem, our community, and our city in order to help provide jobs, create new companies, and to provide, a diverse economy that's driven by innovation and entrepreneurship. And so we've been in, like I said, serving entrepreneurs, not just tech entrepreneurs, which is obviously inherent in the
Yeah.
name, but also working with small businesses, retail businesses, small manufacturing businesses in 7 different neighborhoods around the city of Detroit.
So can you give an example of some of the businesses or innovative things that are going on down there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just in the tech side, which I manage the tech-based businesses, so that spans the realm of life science, medical device stuff, mobile apps, consumer products, alternative energy. We have one interesting product by a company called Sentinel, which right now is receiving a lot of visibility and interest because of the president's recent mandate on smart gun technologies and the
Wait, smart gun technologies. Does that mean the gun is smart? No, what
or
is that?
that is usually an accessory or some complementary device that actually helps make the gun a little bit smart and really for protective purposes, I think, in order to protect against unwarranted use and show that it's not usable in the hands of those who it shouldn't be used in within.
Wow, that is really interesting.
So yeah, this accessory actually goes around kind of the actual trigger portion of a handgun, and it has a fingerprint recognition piece of kind of
Oh,
material on the side
no
that basically
stuff.
very similar to how you unlock an iPhone with a fingerprint, and within less than a second, it releases the accessory so that the authorized user of that handgun can use it.
So the company that's at TechTown is the one developing this?
Yeah, so this is a young gentleman who, ironically enough, was a victim of a gunshot incident. And so he came to Techtown. He was at the time an engineer at Bosch Engineering. And he entered into one of our programs called an accelerator program. And this is basically a 10-week intense kind of time period where you really try to pressure test your idea or your hypothesis or what you think would work and really try to make sure that you validate that. And so he sat through the program, picked up a lot of the components of the program and a lot of the instructional information, and he created this idea around this accessory. And so since then, we've been helping him in a variety of ways, everything from funding sources to business strategy to marketing to social media to
Wow.
production and
So,
operations.
so okay. Businesses, okay, if I have a business, I got to put myself in this only because have to understand it. If I have a business, it's a small business, I think it can be something relevant, and it's technically based.
Right.
I can come to TechTown, and what would TechTown do for me, or what would they advise me to do, or do I rent space there? I mean, do people
Yeah.
rent space there?
Absolutely. It's a combination of what you just mentioned. So we're very fortunate to have a great building that was actually provided to us by General Motors. It's a 1927 Albert Kahn building, 5 floors, 140,000 square feet. And it's really a place where, talent, capital, and innovation kind of converge. So people come there. You don't need a badge. You don't need to necessarily be a member. You can come and just hang out with us, do email, connect with other entrepreneurs. And so we do have co-working space that actually gives, a small business a home away from home. And so it's, a lower cost kind of environment so that the entrepreneur can really put most of the resources that they have into the actual business and growing that business. But if they come in with, just an idea, we get people who come in with at just the idea stage. I've never run a business before. I'm, maybe part-time or full-time employed, but I have this idea that I think could work. And we sit down, we assess it. We tell them what kind of resources that we can bring to bear, depending on what stage that idea is in. We may help with the business plan. We may help with the go-to-market strategy. We may help them understand the competitive market. We may help them understand what their market and the size of that market looks like. So there's a variety of different things
So
that we can offer.
they can like a little think tank to help you, because when you're trying to establish a business, your objectivity is gone.
Absolutely. A lot
You're
of
very
times.
subjective. You feel that this is going to work.
Right,
It's
right.
going to work. I've been thinking about it a long time, but you need other people on the outside to be able to take a look at it.
Yeah,
Correct?
people who have been there, people who have subject matter expertise, people who have run startups. It is in fact definitely a unique experience and a unique kind of pathway. I always ask entrepreneurs who come into TechTown, or not always, but very often I'll ask, are you attempting to build a product or are you attempting to build a business? two totally different things,
Okay.
two totally different approaches. And there's no wrong answer to that question. It's just you have to, where you want to be and where you are with respect to, developing a business concept.
Yeah, because some people think overnight I'm gonna, yeah, in next few months I'll be able to draw a salary and this and that. It takes years
It takes
to
years.
draw a salary.
Absolutely. Yep. We always, coach entrepreneurs to one, we look for those entrepreneurs who are in fact coachable. And that's what you kind of referenced earlier. But yeah, I'd say with average time that we need to set proper expectations with entrepreneurs, that it is in fact years, and it's a lot of blood, it's a lot of sweat, and it's a lot of tears, it's a lot of dedication. You have to be committed. And we also look for that. We look for those entrepreneurs who are really committed to their business, who are really driven and self-motivated in order to bring an idea to fruition. And so we don't help you necessarily. We won't write your business plan. We won't actually develop your executive summary. We won't go
What's
and
an executive summary?
it's a quick summation, I think, of the highlights of what a business has to offer, where they are currently, what their needs are, what their marketing strategy may be, kind of what maybe their short-term or mid-term financial projections look like. So it's a succinct document that basically is used to gain the attention of an audience, and that audience may be partners, it may be investors, it may be other entrepreneurs, it may be customers. So it's something that is a quick read, that is, like I said, a quick succinct summary of the highlights and the important portions of a business.
Now, okay, your technology, and you said there are other kind, like
Yeah.
retail or something. What other kinds of businesses or people
Do we work with?
do you work with?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. So TechTown entered its building just about 10 or 11 years ago. And we've done acceleration services, like I mentioned, kind of trying to help an entrepreneur find out within a quick time period if, in fact, they have something that's viable and scalable and can really grow. We have incubation, which you talked about, which is really setting a specific set of goals around a tech-based idea and helping them step through those milestones and achieve those goals in a more personalized kind of manner. But then we have, and we realized 3 or 4 years ago, that there is a very underserved but yet equally important community of businesses that are actually what we sometimes call bin-ups. They're entrepreneurs who have been in business, who are not necessarily startups. There are retail and restaurants and coffee shops, and not necessarily high tech, high growth, or I shouldn't say high growth, the high tech or tech focused
Right.
businesses. But these are still equally important anchors in our neighborhoods, and there are a tremendous number of entrepreneurs who want to pursue those avenues. So we have resources, we have coaches, mentors,
Wow.
service providers, partners, funding sources to help those businesses also matriculate
Would
and
you
reach the
give,
market.
because we hear this all the time, the last 3, 4 years, we hear the term startup. Would you tell the audience what exactly is a startup?
A startup is, in fact, a new business venture, typically that is within, and so startups really is not based around a time period of existence. I think it's really based around more so of a maturity of growth and a phase of where the business is, the size of the business, the revenues of the business, the understanding of that business with respect to who their customer is. So businesses can be startups and be 3, 4, 5 years old. Because some businesses take that long to really get off the ground. If you think about life science or drug companies or medical device companies, which require intense resources, that can be 5, 7 years sometimes because of the capital intensity and the team that you need and the regulatory issues and all of those kinds of things. So it really varies. So there is no boilerplate, I think, definition to what a startup is. It varies based on industry and the kind of company that you're running.
Now, do you get, okay, I know a lot of young people they have these startups, but do you get, do you get a person who was in one career and they retired from that career and they want to do something else? Do you get those type of people?
All the time.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. We get, a lot of people who come in and are retired from a certain industry, or are currently working in an industry and have an idea that is applicable to a completely different vertical or industry. And I think with the proliferation and the access to so much data and information and how quickly things move in this digitally driven world, that ideas come to us all the time. It's just a major difference that separates, I think, great entrepreneurs from those who have great ideas is the execution and the commitment and the coachability. And so we always are openly inclusive, and have a great open door policy. We want to see more entrepreneurs come through our doors because we, like I said, view ourselves as a business innovation hub. If we can't provide the direct service that an entrepreneur needs, it's up to us to make sure that they get to the right
Resources,
at the right time.
that's very important because sometimes people hit a wall or they go to someone and, well, okay, you can't do it, but do you know anyone else who could help me?
Yep, absolutely. So, like I mentioned earlier, people can come to TechTown irrespective of where you are, where you live, or where you work, or where your business is located. If you think you need support, or if you think you need assistance, or if you think you may need it in the short term or the midterm future, you can come to us, come through the door without an appointment. You can call, you can email us, you can subscribe to our newsletter via our website, which is www.techtowndetroit.org, and get more acclimated and connected to our environment and what happens there. But we always, like I said, openly invite entrepreneurs and business owners and aspiring business owners, people who aren't yet, entrepreneurs or business
Okay,
owners.
I'm going to bring up one profession. What if it's bakery?
Yep.
I've been selling. This is my example. The drama teacher got to give you the dramatization. Okay, I've been making pies and cakes at my house for golly 15 years, and it's kind of overbearing. I've rented one of these. You know how they go to these big kitchens
Kitchens,
and
yeah, the
you're
food kitchens, yeah.
trying to do that, and everything is just it's kind of getting out of hand. I can't do them from home. I can't do
Right.
these things like that anymore. So what if I came to you and said, Mr. Reiser, what can I do? I still
Yeah.
want to do this.
Right,
And
right.
I need to hire people and
Yep.
so forth. Can you all give me
Absolutely. And so a cool thing about one of TechTown's programs called the Blocks program that we offer.
blocks,
Blocks, as in residential
building
blocks. Yep, a
oh,
residential blocks.
resident.
So the effort and the idea is to change Detroit one block at a time by pouring assets and services and helping entrepreneurs in commercial districts build their business or grow their businesses or establish new businesses. And so when you talk about someone who has a retail kind of concept, maybe that they're doing from home, or that they have a web-based business that they don't actually have a physical location, we have a program actually called a retail boot camp, which is a multi-week intense kind of program that actually provides specialized services in the areas of marketing and finance and operations and understanding permitting and establishing what it takes to run a retail business, management, all of those important aspects. But then also the kind of the icing on the dessert or the
Right,
cake
right.
is that we actually help them to actually move into a physical storefront and provide resources to those entrepreneurs with partners to help them transition.
Wow, wow, wow. This is fabulous. How would people find out more again?
Yeah, absolutely. Please visit our website. Obviously, you can follow us via multiple social media channels, but our website is www.techtowndetroit.org.
TECH
Yep.
town.
TechTownDetroit.org. Yeah, please visit the website. We always have tremendous events and activities
Yeah,
and
they
meetups
do.
and great things that happen at TechTown. I can't even keep up with it.
Well, that's how I caught up with your daddy. That's how I caught up. TechTown is my friend.
Yep.
Listen, we got to go because I have a second
No
show,
worries.
Table Talk
Thank you
with
so
Brenda
much, though.
Perryman. Oh, this has been, I'm speechless. This has been wonderful. And everyone, I have a little interview that I did about cervical cancer, and we're going to try and play that just prior to Table Talk if we still have it in the base. But women need to, it's just some information for women. And next week I'll have it on heart failure. And today is Wear Red Day. Well, I wore red lipstick. And we have these beautiful flowers, and we'll talk about Claudette Wellams and the flowers in just a minute. See you in a few with
Thank
Table
you.
Talk with Brenda Perryman. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,